Good morning, respected dignitaries, teachers, and dear students. Before I begin, I thank Srimati K. Rajanipriya, manager of Rashtrapati Nilayam, and her resolute staff for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with the students today. It is truly a privilege to share the beauty of science with young minds in such an inspiring environment. Every year on February 28, we celebrate National Science Day. This day honors not only scientific achievements but also the qualities that make scientific discovery possible: curiosity, careful observation, critical thinking, and the courage to ask questions. National Science Day commemorates the discovery of the Raman effect by Sir C.V. Raman, an achievement that brought international recognition to Indian science. The topic given to me today is Wonders of Science as a way of understanding the world. When we talk about the wonders of science, we usually think of the technological, medical, and industrial advances that have improved human life. However, science is much more than a collection of inventions and discoveries. It is a way of thinking, a way of understanding the world around us. Many of the materials and technologies that shape modern civilization exist today because scientists chose to investigate unexpected results instead of ignoring them. I hope today's discussion encourages you to see science not merely as a subject to study for examinations, but as a journey of exploration, imagination, and discovery that benefits humanity. One of the finest examples of this scientific spirit is Sir C.V. Raman. Raman published his first scientific paper titled Unsymmetrical Diffraction Bands Due to a Rectangular Aperture in the British journal Philosophical Magazine in 1906 when he was only 18 years old and a student at Presidency College, Madras. Raman paid close attention to things that many others overlooked. He noticed small and unusual effects in the way light scattered. Instead of ignoring them, he asked a simple but powerful question: why does this happen? That question, born from careful observation and curiosity, eventually led to the discovery of the Raman effect, for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize. Raman's story teaches us an important lesson. Scientific discoveries do not always begin with a grand plan. Often, they begin when someone notices something unexpected and decides to investigate it. This idea brings us to today's main theme: unexpected discoveries in chemistry that changed the world. Sometimes scientists set out to find out one thing and discover something completely different. These unexpected results often fill scientists with wonder and inspire them to explore further. Many important discoveries in chemistry happened by accident, but they changed industries, improved our daily life, and benefited millions of people around the world. Today, we will look at four famous examples: post it notes, superglue, Teflon, and Maoin dye. Each began as an unexpected result. Each became an important innovation, and each changed the world in its own way. Let us explore each of these fascinating stories. Before we begin with our first example, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought that a failed experiment in a laboratory could become something that millions of people use every single day? Our first story shows exactly how an invention that appeared completely useless at first eventually became one of the world's most successful of its products. That is post-it notes. Post-it notes, a weak glue that became a great idea. In 1968, chemist Spencer Silver was working at a company known as 3M. He was trying to create a very strong adhesive for aerospace applications. Instead, he produced something unusual, a weak adhesive. This weak adhesive made up of tiny microscopic spheres. Because of these tiny spheres, the adhesive stuck lightly to surfaces and could be removed without leaving any residue. At first, nobody knew how to use it. Several years later, another scientist from the same company, 3M, Art Fry, found a practical application. He used the adhesive to keep bookmarks from slipping out of his church choir hymnal. The idea was simple but powerful, led to the creation of the post-it notes. The adhesive works because the tiny polymer spheres make only limited contact with the surface. As a result, it sticks gently. It can be removed easily. It can be used repeatedly. What's the impact of this post-it note invention? Post-it note was introduced commercially in 1980 and it became one of the world's most widely used office products. This shows that a material that seems unsuccessful to one purpose may be perfect for another. I thought what we have here is not just a bookmark, said the scientist Fry. It is a whole new way to communicate. Post-it flags were introduced as a new way to organize with color coding, filing, and indexing. What lesson we get from this? The usefulness of a discovery often depends on how it is applied. Our first story taught us that even a weak adhesive can become valuable when someone finds the right application. Now let us look at the opposite situation. What happens when a material sticks far too well? Surprisingly, a problem that once frustrated scientists later became one of the strongest and fastest adhesives ever invented. That is what is called superglue. That is our second example. Superglue, a mistake that became a miracle adhesive. Actually, superglue was discovered twice. In 1942, during Second World War, chemist Harry Coover was trying to develop transparent plastic materials for gun sights. During his research, he encountered chemicals called cyanoacrylates. These substances stuck strongly to almost everything they touched. Because they were difficult to handle, they were considered unsuitable and were rejected. Years later, Coover realized that what seemed to be a problem was a valuable property. Cyanoacrylates react rapidly when they come into contact with small amounts of moisture in the air. This reaction forms long chains of molecules called polymers, creating a strong bond within seconds. Why it works so well? That is because it forms strong bonds, it penetrates, it penetrates tiny surface pores, and it dries very quickly too. Now let us look at the applications. Household repairs, industrial manufacturing, surgical wound closure, emergency medical treatment. Superglue was marketed commercially in 1958. The lesson: sometimes a property that appears to be disadvantaged becomes the key to success. The discovery of superglue reminds us that unusual properties can sometimes become extraordinary advantages. Our next story takes this idea one step further. This time, the discovery was not made because Something worked unexpectedly, but because something seemed to have disappeared altogether. Imagine opening a gas cylinder that appears empty, yet still weighs exactly the same. That puzzling observation led to one of the most useful materials of the 20th century, that is Teflon. In 1938, chemist Roy Plunkett was studying refrigerant gases at DuPont. DuPont is a company. One day, a gas cylinder that should have contained gas appeared empty, even though it still weighed the same. When the cylinder was opened, scientists found a white waxy substance inside. That substance, later identified as polytetrafluoroethylene, PTFE, now known as Teflon. What makes Teflon so special? Polytetrafluoroethylene polymer has extremely strong carbon-fluorine bonds inside the polymer molecule. It is very resistant to heat and chemicals and has very low surface friction. At the same time, most substances do not stick to it. Now, what are the applications? Non-stick cookware, aerospace technology, electrical insulation, medical devices, etc. Investigating an unexpected result can sometimes lead to an entirely new class of materials. So far, we have seen discoveries that transformed the way we write, repair, and manufacture materials. Our final story changed something entirely different. Once again, the scientist was searching for one thing but discovered something completely unexpected. This accidental discovery not only created a beautiful purple dye, but also gave birth to the modern chemical industry. In 1856, an 18-year-old student, William Henry Perkin, was trying to produce quinine, a medicine used to treat malaria. Instead, he obtained a dark, sticky residue. When he dissolved it in alcohol while cleaning the flask, he noticed a beautiful purple color. This substance became known as morphine, the world's first synthetic dye. Why was it so important? Before this discovery, most dyes came from plants or animals. Morphine showed that useful chemicals could be manufactured artificially. The scientific importance of this discovery. Morphine is made from aniline, a coal tar derivative. It demonstrated the power of organic chemistry. It opened the door to large-scale chemical manufacturing. What is its impact on society? It became extremely fashionable in Europe, created the modern dye industry. It contributed to the development of pharmaceuticals and industrial chemistry. This is often considered one of the most important accidental discoveries in the history of chemistry. At first glance, these four discoveries seem completely unrelated. One gave us a sticky note, another gave us an instant adhesive, a third produced remarkable non-stick material, the fourth transformed the textile industry with synthetic colors. Yet beneath these every different inventions lies a common scientific message. Let us see what these remarkable stories have in common. These discoveries reveal several important lessons. Number one, chance favors prepared minds. The scientists noticed unusual results and investigated them instead of ignoring them. Properties determine applications. Weak adhesion led to post-it notes. High reactivity led to superglue. Chemical inertness led to Teflon. And unexpected color led to the dye industry. Third point, failure can provide valuable information. In science, unexpected results are not useless. They often contain important clues. Number 4, curiosity leads to innovation. Every discovery began with a simple question: why did this happen? Chemistry is not only the science of planned experiments, it is also the science of careful observation. The stories of post-it note, superglue, Teflon, and morphine remind us that many important discoveries occur when scientists pay attention to the unexpected. The lesson for all students and scientists is simple: observe carefully, ask questions, Investigate surprises, learn from failures, stay curious. Many of the materials and technologies that shape modern civilization exist today because researchers explored unexpected results instead of dismissing them. Dear students, to encourage your independent thinking and analytical skills, I would like you to answer the following questions in your own words. Which discovery surprised you the most and why? That is first question. Second one is, can failure be productive in science? Support your answer with suitable examples. Thank you all.